Hi, my name is Coulter and I am an English teacher at Aransas High School, and this is my 11th year teaching here. Funny story, actually, I originally went to school for nursing because all of my family members, not all, but a lot of my aunts and uncles were nurses, and that seemed to be the obvious route to go. And then about my second year in college, I had one of my best friends who was also going into teaching and teaches here. Shout out Mrs. G at Falk. Anyway, she had asked me, why don't you go into teaching? Because I loved literature so much. And she had said, you know, you could go teach high school. And I was like, all right, sounds like something I could do. And then 13 plus years later, here I am. Honestly, my drive every day is these kids. Coming here each day, there is a sense of fulfillment and, for the most part, joy with these kids. They do make what I'm doing exciting. They make it sometimes humorous, and they give me a purpose. I do feel like there is so much potential in this group of kids in our community, and sometimes they may not see it themselves, but I see it. And so for me, it really is that excitement of, you don't believe in yourself, but I do, and I'm gonna make you believe in yourself, and I'm going to make you see the potential that I see in you every day. So I remember my first year, every day coming in here was like a, let's see if this works. It was almost kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks and what would get my kids to be motivated, what would inspire them. And it really was a trial and error, trial by fire year. So shout out to my first maybe 2-year groups. Y'all were my guinea pigs, but y'all were fabulous. And every year I kind of have to learn. And really, with education in general, you're never a complete expert for that year because our kids change generation by generation. What the world expects of these kids changed year by year and generation by generation. So what I teach them and how I teach them is constantly growing and evolving. So really, I don't have any surprise hidden talents. I did play clarinet and bass clarinet in middle school and high school. It's really no surprise when I tell people that I love reading and I love writing due to my profession. That's what I teach them all day, every day. However, one thing that I do think is a surprise, it's not so much a talent, but it is something that I think surprises a lot of my kids, is that I'm dyslexic. And for me, being an English teacher and someone who enjoys writing, when I tell them that, sometimes they're like, how are you an English teacher? Because being dyslexic doesn't mean you can't do something. It doesn't mean I can't read. It doesn't mean I can't write. It meant that when I was their age, I may have had to learn it differently, and that's okay. There is no barrier. There is no label that can absolutely bar you from education, that can keep you from being amazing, that can keep you from a latent talent that you might otherwise think you're not capable of. So I do work at a lot of athletic events. You'll see me during volleyball games, basketball games, sometimes on the table working the clock, or libero tracker for volleyball. Sometimes I'll be at the gate. And I have this philosophy that if I expect my students to show up for me in class every day over something that I love, reading and writing, I think it's very much appropriate for them to expect me to show up to things that they're passionate about, that they like, whether it's on the volleyball court or the football field or the basketball court, or whether it's on stage or in that band concert. I expect you to give a shot to what I enjoy. So I will absolutely go and support you in the things that you enjoy. And that helps to build a relationship between me and my students that I think is so important, because there are many kids who come in here and they don't mind reading, but writing isn't something they enjoy. And I need them to trust me when I say, give it a shot. And that trust and that bond is built when we show up for each other. You show up for my class and what I'm asking you to learn, and I'll show up and support you in the things that I know actually bring you joy. Please come, one of us, be one of us. Give it time, in the sense that come in excited, but know that there are going to be times when you stress over things that may seem small, paperwork. There may be times when you question if you're being effective enough, give it time. Give it time. You will get to know your students, you will get to know your subject area well, you will learn over time what connects with kids and what maybe doesn't. And you will find joy every day in these students. And most of the things you're gonna struggle over, it's gonna be paperwork. These kids, despite what some horror stories may tell you, they're worth it in the end. On their worst day, that I can tell you they are not my biggest headache each day, if that makes sense. These kids usually are the highlight of my day, and oftentimes they're the thing that, they are my pick-me-up. They are the ones that make me laugh when I am overly stressed out about something, some paperwork I have to fill out. These kids are worth it every day. This is my advice for anybody who is even thinking about coming into this field of teaching, or who's thinking of making that move and maybe just coming over here to Aransas Pass and teaching with us. Come join our community. It's worth it.